were in prison for something that they didn't do. And Jeff's a real role model for me personally as somebody who was wrongfully incarcerated for 13 years, 16 years for a crime that he didn't commit. And when he got out, because it was proven that he was not the perpetrator, there was DNA evidence, and they found the real murderer, and he gets out, and he got a nice settlement, enough that he could go away and live in some other country and never work or never look back. And he didn't. He went around and did what Carl-Ann Cesare does, and has spent all his time trying to make sure that other people don't do what he does, and to not let the people behind that are in prison. So I want to
That's right.
He also
There you go.
graduated law school. That's quite the accomplishment also.
Thank you very much. So as Gary mentioned, I'm Jeff Duskovic, and I was exonerated after 16 years in prison. I was arrested when I was 16 years old. I turned 17 by the time the trial rolled around. Ultimately, I was wrongfully convicted based upon a coerced false confession, prosecutorial misconduct, fraud by the medical examiner, terrible public defender. I lost despite the DNA not matching me. I lost 7 appeals. I got turned down for parole. Ultimately, I was exonerated after 16 years through further DNA testing via the DNA data bank, which not only reaffirmed I wasn't the perpetrator, but it also identified the actual criminal who had killed a second victim 3.5 years later as a result of being free while I was doing time for his crime. So this is my life now. I look at everything like my purpose in the world is to fight wrongful conviction. So I did use some of the money to start the Jeffrey Duskovic Foundation for Justice. And we've been able to get 7 people home in the last 6 years.
Right. Be one of them. I'm one of them.
Just had an eighth case was overturned. And some of the people associated with the organization are here, so I want to just briefly mention them. The first person who ever got out was John Whitfield, Devon Whitfield, who was in for 25 years. He's with us right here.
Yeah,
So
thank you.
the John Juka case, a wrongful conviction case out of Brooklyn, was we've mainly worked on we've worked on a public relational level of that. He had his own lawyer and investigator. But when you spotlight injustices, it's harder for them to sweep it under the rug. So we've been very involved in getting media coverage. So John's conviction was overturned after 14 years on prosecutorial misconduct grounds. But you get a load of this, right? Hold on. It's nice, but hold on. The story doesn't end. So the prosecutor's office, not wanting to let it go, appeals the decision, which was a 4-0 decision. They appealed it up to the Court of Appeals, right, which grants them permission to appeal. Now remember, if John had been appealing, there's no way that they would have agreed to hear it. But they agreed to hear the case, and they ruled that there was in fact misconduct, but that it was harmless. And so they reinstated the conviction. And yeah, so he's still inside. But a new post-conviction motion has been filed by still more evidence that had been withheld. Turns out the authorities had the actual perpetrator, and he said that he committed the crime, that John wasn't involved, but that had been hidden. So that just now bubbled to the surface. But I want to recognize his mother who's with us. So imagine this. Imagine having enough gumption that you would lose weight, you change your hair color, you take on a different name, you rent an apartment, you go undercover, and in order to do further investigation, and it's uncovered that one of the jurors only voted guilty because they thought that John Juka was Jewish. This is on tape now. Okay, so because of that work, the media has dubbed her Mother Justice. Been a lot of media attention around the case. We're waiting for the results of the latest proceedings. I want to recognize Doreen Giuliano, who's with us as well.
Hey, here you go. Here you go.
And maybe the last person I'll quickly recognize is a fellow Long Islander, fellow to you. I'm not a Long Islander. I live in the Prospect section of the Bronx, although I come out frequently. I get in trouble with Gary and Jeff Bloom and Frank Vetro, and then also Chris DiMaggio, all my friends from Long Island. I get in trouble if I dare venture anywhere within the Long Island border without letting them know, so we can get together before or after. But your fellow Long Islander was the first person who, when he graduated with a PhD, he wrote a doctoral dissertation on the impact of wrongful conviction on the children of the wrongfully convicted. So I want to recognize Dr. St. Jean Judy, who's right here, a fellow Long
Okay.
Islander.
Wow, there you go.
So as I quickly wrap it up, I just want to reference the coalition group that I'm with. It can happen to you. We led the fight after 8 years. We got legislation passed last year, finally creating the first oversight, the Commission on Prosecutor Conduct. I mean, as an instinct, wouldn't you think, I mean, whatever profession, whatever walk of life you're in, there's an oversight board, there's rules and regulations and ethics you have to follow, and if you don't, there is an independent body that can investigate and that can hold you accountable. Not so the prosecutors. So we did get the law passed after 8 long years, so now we have that in place now.
Right, right.
Of course, they don't want to let it go, so they filed a lawsuit, so we're waiting for, that to be resolved in court. But then a year after that, we were able to form an even bigger coalition when we passed discovery reform. So just as what was crazy to me, discovery pertains to sharing. If you're defending yourself, shouldn't you have a right to know what the evidence is?
That's right.
So your lawyer
Obvious.
can prepare a defense, all right, so that we had one of the worst discovery laws in the country, but we were able to pass a new law that makes it from one of the worst to one of the best. I found it weird that when I filed the lawsuit, I had more right to information about the case that I did when I was filing the lawsuit than what I did when I was originally defending myself against the charges. So those are some of the legislative aspects, because as great as it is to say, look, we freed different people, isn't it even better that it never happens in the first place?
There you go.
So
That's
that's
right.
what the purpose of legislative reform is. So I love Americans for Legal Reform. They posted any number of events pertaining around wrongful conviction, and the Long Island people that I mentioned, from Gary to Chris to Frank to forgot your first name. I was on your show recently. To the platforms to let me share about wrongful conviction, my story, and in general. I often mention, and I mean it, Gary, you're really like the Jeff Deskovic of family law reform, and I do mean that as a compliment. And that's why I love coming to your events and socializing and supporting the work, because really wrongful conviction and civil law reform, okay, they're brothers and sisters.
That's right.
We're all trying to fix the system. There's victims of that broken system, and we need to recognize the people that are affected and make the changes to make the system work and to be accurate. And so with that, I'm going to leave you. Thank you so much for generously sharing the platform. And thank you for listening.
And I want to also thank our attorneys who gave us many of us that issues.